Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Resident Rule Breakers. My name is Kayla.
And I'm Camille. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Well, first off, I'm fully recovered, and thanks to the vaccine. See, people who say it doesn't work, it does. I can promise you, because it helped me get over my COVID symptoms.
And I got my first one on Thursday.
To the point of where my energy's back, I'm back at full-time working, and yeah. So
I'm also, yeah. I'm just glad that you're back to better because I don't want to edit.
But yeah, it's great to be able to feel my energy back, because that was the number one issue, is I couldn't function, and the pain is pretty much gone, and so yeah. But my eyesight got worse while I was sick, so I got new glasses, and my taste and smell came back more sensitive.
That's good. Yeah. Are you hungry again? It's before you were saying that your appetite wasn't back.
After the first shot, my appetite completely came back. After the second one, it kind of disappeared again. Well, anyways, but yeah, that's essentially, I'm just saying, for me, I got better. There's a lot of people out there who are saying the same thing. So if you've had COVID and you can't recover properly, get vaccinated. It helped me.
I just got my first shot on Thursday, and I feel only symptom that I had was a sore arm. So
well, I think because I had it, I actually had more symptoms than when I was actually sick. I had a fever and everything that I didn't have when I was actually sick. But I put an ice pack on my head and it went away in about 5 hours. That, and I can't run fevers because I have epilepsy. The first time it happened, I called my dad crying, and he came over and put an ice pack on my head. The second time, I knew what I was supposed to do. But yeah, because my parents are fully vaccinated, so I haven't got to see them in a while because I've been trying to make sure that I can work and everything. So
did you which shot did you get?
Oh, Pfizer.
I got a Pfizer shot too, so.
But yeah, for people who were in the boat that I was in, and can't seem to recover to their normalcy.
Yeah.
For me, the shot helped a lot.
Yep.
So the reports of that working, it helps. So highly suggested it. Highly suggested. Anyways, despite the side effects, it goes away within 48 hours. Pops. Anyway, today's podcast is about episode 410 of The Resident, called Into the Unknown. It was written by Emily Pressley and Andrew Chapman, directed by Kelli Williams. And sad to say, this was Shaunette's last episode of The Resident.
For the foreseeable future.
For now. She'd asked to be written out. They left it open. Yeah, well, they left it open for her to be able to come back in the future. Hopefully that happens. But for now, it was Shaunette's decision to leave the show.
A lot of people keep asking like why she left, and the thing about it is you and I both know why she left. And they're trying to give out the like PC, like publicity thing, like overall in good standing or whatever. But if her tweets were any indication last summer, she was pissed.
No, and I agree. See, that when I saw those tweets last year, when I was looking through, we were dealing with all this BLM stuff last summer, I saw those tweets and I thought to myself, this isn't good. This isn't good. Like, she was the one person I was like, this isn't good. And I just knew something was up when they started bringing up immigration issues.
the way she was talking about stuff last summer, I was thinking to myself, like, is she gonna come back for the season? So just the fact that she lasted 10 episodes into season 4, it was surprised me, because for those who don't know, the gist of what happened last summer was Shaunette was pissed with the whole white savior complex of Conrad of the character Conrad, and like to be honest with you, Mel Gonzo, one of our members in our Facebook group, put it down too, that her own interpretation of what happened, and I agree with what she said, because one of the biggest complaints that I also have with the show is how Conrad, is treated like a god, even by attendings and higher ups by him.
They show him as perfect. By the way, Conrad is not even perfect. Like, he has flaws but in the terms of him being a doctor, they show him as perfect. Like, he can do no wrong in the ER. Blah 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 blah. The flaws in his character are not him as a doctor, but him as a person. Totally.
And I will never forget, and probably never forgive the writers for, is when he pretty much yelled at AJ about his not getting a CT for his commanding officer or whatever. You know what I mean? And AJ just let him. I'm sitting there going dude, you're the fucking attendant. You're like the head doctor of cardiothoracic. Knock him down a couple of notches. You know what I mean? Because I don't think if it was any other doctor, then he would have. But he's not. He's still below the attendings.
Because Conrad's the head resident, right? Conrad is below the attendings. So AJ, Belle, all of them, they have Cain even has higher authority than Conrad. The only people that are below him are Devon. So I do understand Shaunette's reasoning behind the way things are, but so I kind of figured she was, either she wasn't going to come back, which concerned me because everyone loves Mina, or she was going to get written out, and that's exactly what happened. But of her own free will, she wanted to be written out.
So I looked back to see what were the tweets exactly last summer, and Shaunette deleted it. Shaunette deleted some of the tweets, but there was one tweet that she kept up there where she said, I can't believe people are arguing with me about my experience on the show when I'm on the show. You know what I mean? So it's just her, again, voicing her frustration of what's going on in the show and stuff. So, like I said, this, for everybody who followed Shaunette last summer, it's not a surprise.
No. Not surprising at all. But they wrote the character out really well. They gave her a good send-off. I
kind of wish they had, the montage of Shaunette's, Mina's time on the show. I kind of wish that they had played the scene in the pilot where she gave the death notice.
Well, there was a kind of a little one, but see, the reason and this is just a personal opinion here, but the pilot episode, the reason the show somewhat started making it,
she was the reason I started watching the show. Everyone kept saying that was the reason that they watched the resident. I'm nope. Mina was the reason for me. The scene where she gave the death notice was on the previous for the show, and I was like, I need to know who that girl is. But
I could see why she's frustrated with the way that Mina was written. And then, of course, we've got 4 seasons almost of Mina and AJ, and they're just back and forth. And we get, in the end, they're as
Well, I think, what's his name? Rob Ford said that because they knew she was leaving, and because they knew so many of the fans wanted Minotaur to happen, they wanted to, they wrote that in the romance, and you know, because if Shaunette had not asked to be written out, the whole back and forth, will they, won't they, with Minotaur would still be happening. But because there was such a strong response, and you know, nobody can deny their chemistry, they wanted to give the fans what they wanted while Shaunette was still on the show.
But you know, I like the way they handled the write out. I do. I mean, it was the only way they could have done it. It's sad, but it is the way it is. And here's the thing: the reason that AJ stayed, they had to keep Malcolm. I don't think the show would have survived if Shaunette and Malcolm had both left. The show would not have survived.
To be honest with you, I honestly think people would still, there would be a negative impact of Shaunette leaving, though. There would still be a negative impact of Shaunette leaving, because you know me, I run the resident fan page, you know, network TV, and you know, Shaunette, you know, they were strong individuals together, and they were strong individuals, but they were also strong together, kind of thing. And so, and then there were other people who was like, Mina inspired me, you know, she inspired me to go back to school, you know, that kind of thing and stuff. And so I feel like in the 4 years that she was on the show, she did impact a lot of people, especially like the Black community. And there's going to be some negative impact of her leaving.
Yeah, the show will definitely be impacted from Shaunette's departure. But I don't think the show would have just survived if they had lost 2 Black actors. It just wouldn't have done it. No, it won't. But poor AJ is, you know, got this storyline now, where his mom's got stage 4 lung cancer. And just so you know, you can get lung cancer without smoking. So maybe they're trying to send a message with that. I don't know. But so that's going to be a hard storyline to watch too.
The elephant in the room. The actress who plays AJ's mom is different this episode, because Denise Dow's the original the original actor for the character wasn't available. I don't know whether it was COVID or something else, or just conflict of schedule, conflict of whatever.
Well, the COVID restrictions, they have to have at least 2 weeks around when they're filming in isolation or something, and it's a lot to just be able to do a guest spot. So, and of course, so that was the big storyline of that episode. But there's other ones, you know. Devon is the perpetual bachelor.
Well, I said it a couple of weeks ago on a podcast. I was like,
I'm so tired of it. Just give Devon a permanent love interest,
season
please.
Of the Bachelor with like Devon. Did I say that? with all the rotating women.
You did. But like when they, because I watched 4-9. And when they brought in this lady that was this Indian matchmaker, I was like, oh God, help us all, you know. But like in this episode, he gets set up with his intern, which I predicted he was gonna date her. So I'm not even like shocked that this happened. So I'm just like, yep, I predicted it. But so we'll see where this goes. But like, they're both against it.
Are you a fan of this too?
I don't really know. I'm very I don't have an opinion at the moment. I just want Devon to have a permanent love interest. Honestly, one that's not his intern, okay?
I don't want them to, like, it's too soon. We just lost our favorite teacher.
I don't want him to be, I don't want this girl to be his intern. I just don't want that.
Yeah. But I
like her, and she's gonna have an expanded role to her and Jessica both are gonna have expanded roles.
I just hope that like her role isn't just focused on.
Yeah, I don't want that either. Like, just give her an interesting character outside of a love interest.
She is dyslexic. She's a dyslexic intern. I want to know more about the struggles and how she is like, keeping that A, keeping that secret, and B, how she is learning these, she has to go around like learning these procedures, with this learning disability. I find that more interesting and more like, I want to know more about that than I do about who.
I agree, because it's not really shown a lot on TV, but with learning disabilities.
Exactly. Like, I swear to God, if like
but again, Bille, obviously, she's gonna be around for a while. But Cain lies to Kit about his ability to do surgery, and Bille knows he lied. But
well, how come she didn't?
Because remember what happened to Mina?
Oh God. Yeah, but see, Mina is Bille isn't like an immigrant.
That's true, but still, I think Bille has more of a conscience now than she did, and I think it might come in down the road. We still have 4 episodes left here.
Yeah.
But Bille ends up stepping in for Cain to finish the surgery on this diver who had an accident, and so yeah,
I couldn't feel anything.
They're trying to prove she's actually a good doctor and a good surgeon. So, but yeah, and yeah. Rose and Bille both knew that he had issues, and I'm surprised Rose didn't say anything. But there it is. But and speaking of Rose, she gets help from Devon. She's in a clinical trial for sickle cell, and like they said, sickle cells are predominantly African American disease, and the city of Atlanta is a huge African American population. So I'm glad they pointed that out, because people who don't know the South and know that area really don't know that. But I live down here, so I can tell you firsthand that it is. And and so the point is, they're trying to make a point to say, look, we could eradicate this in a city. It has an effect. And so, and not big pharma.
My foster sister, she's a carrier for sickle cell. She doesn't have sickle cell, but she's a carrier for it. So she doesn't have like she gets prone to sicknesses that a full-blown sickle cell anemic person gets, but doesn't have the actual diagnosis, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
So we'll see where this goes, but Devon helped her out. He got his friend from Harvard who had this company to help her out with.
I'm getting like Gordon Page vibes from Devon's friend. Seriously, I'm getting Gordon Page. When I saw him, I saw like the arrogance and stuff like that, and I just heard him talk. I felt Gordon Page vibes. I
was like, oh, it's a little sketchy, and Gordon Page flashbacks. Yeah.
Like, I'm not even lying to you right now. That dude gives me icks, and don't be surprised if I would not be surprised if he turns out to be like a bad guy.
We got 4 episodes, so we'll see what happens, right?
Well, there's not much. There's not much left to happen in 4 episodes.
But it was. I cried when Mina and Nick hugged. It was like, because they really have a similar experience. They both lost their siblings. They are, so they really bonded over that situation. So yeah, I cried over that. And then they threw her a surprise party, and she hates them. So
I love the fact that Nick, like, Mina was the one who told Nick, to keep an eye out on AJ, kind of thing. Like, if he's down and out, call me or whatever.
I mean, it's gonna be AJ's storyline. Like, I think Malcolm can pull it off. There's no lie. Like, I truly believe that. But like, AJ's storyline is gonna be hard, like difficult.
Yeah.
So
I'm about to cry just thinking about it.
So really, that's really all of that. I have been a little out of the loop on a lot of stuff because, again, I've been trying to get better so I can go back to my day job. Because without that day job, the bills don't get paid.
But a couple of things happened this week. They finished filming season 4. So it's a wrap for season 4 for everybody. No word yet on season 5. The writers are hopeful, but yeah. And then
I've been a little out of it because, again, I've been trying to focus on actually getting better. And that takes priority over a TV show any day. Just so you're aware. But next week's episode is called After the Storm, and it has
there's a tornado.
Well, that's a very common. As a Southerner, I can clearly state that the spring and summer months down here in the South are very high risk for thunderstorms that spawn tornadoes. So this is actually I live pretty close to the Georgia state line, and I can clearly say that when Georgia gets tornadoes, we get tornadoes in South Carolina. So but Conrad,
how far are you from Atlanta? I know you're not far from the state line.
4 hours.
How far are you from Atlanta?
Yeah,
4 hours. They can drive.
It's a straight shot too. 1 interstate. But Conrad Ricamora is back, and then there's a conic plot line with an EMT, and then of course Devon has a storyline with Leela, and Belle and the Raptor help Jake. So there's a lot of things going into all this, but it looks like an interesting episode. And if someone asks me, can this really happen? Yes. I really like it's as someone from the South, I've lived through enough tornadoes that have been relatively bad to say yes. They get bad here. So there's that. Let's see here. I know there's more. There's all the press releases are out. 412 is called Hope into the Unseen, and Conrad and Nick have a day off, but Nick's due date is approaching. So let's just say that we're getting close to baby Conic making its appearance into the vlog. So there's that. Rose is back in this episode too as well. But it's called Hope in the Unseen. And then that episode will air on May the 4th. And then the finale airs on May 11th. And Conrad Rick and Morra is in this episode. So it's Bille, and Bille is throwing Nick a baby shower. So obviously the baby Conic will be born in the finale. That's what it says, because it says day and Nick's baby shower. Bille takes full control, making sure everything goes smoothly. The only way that I just don't think they could get away without the baby being born by the end of the season.
Yeah. That's just insane.
Apparently, Conrad Rickamore's character Jake and his husband are dealing with another surrogate as well. And so there's a lot of stuff that they're tying up, and then the Raptor gets exciting news. The episode's called Finding Family. So, but we won't have another break until after the finale airs in May. So for all you people complaining why there was such a long break, it's because they have to air the finale in May. It's about sweeps, it's about ratings, it's about all that. So yeah, May is a sweet spot. February, May, and November.
Yep. I just want to know if we're gonna be renewed.
We didn't find out till after the finale last year.
I know. Why are all of my shows waiting so long to be renewed?
Well, the pandemic screwed over a lot of things. So it's a different ballgame.
But like a lot of networks are already announcing renewals. That's why I'm like, why is it taking
the Resident
so
we didn't know until last year after either. So
I know.
But yeah, my anticipation is that the Conic baby is going to make its appearance in 414. That's my prediction. So, we recorded this podcast on April 24th. It's also Glenn Morshower's birthday, so happy birthday, Glenn. And we miss Jane. Yeah, we missed Jane's birthday, which was last week. So happy birthday, Jane.
Happy belated birthday, Jane. Yep. Happy birthday, Glenn.
Before we go, just want to mention that we have a Patreon account. It's patreon.com/The Resident Podcast. It's as little as $1 a month. I know we've been silent, but again, I was really sick. We're hopefully going to get a little bit better at doing things now that I've recovered. So there's the Patreon account, which helps fund things like equipment. Camille got a new microphone. Great, thanks. And then we also do things like just funding to keep the podcast, the posting for the podcast, all that stuff goes through there. And then we have our social media, which we have our Facebook group, which is the Resident Fox Fans, and you can go in there and discuss the show. Camilla and I are both admins in that group. And then we have our Facebook page, which is the Resident Rule Breakers Podcast. And if you're not in the group, you can join through the page. They're linked to each other. And if you haven't joined the group, though, please answer all the questions. The Instagram, which is at the Resident Podcast. You can go to Camille's, which is at Resident on Fox Fan. She does post some things, the fan page and everything. That's her. We won't post on the podcast page. And then my personal, which is at KB Country 37. It's really rare that I post anything, but I did post my picture of my new glasses, so you can see those. Then we have our Twitter account, which is at Resident Podcast. And again, it's been really silent, so sorry about that. Then, of course, how you can listen to us: Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. So there's all that as well.
Okay, so if you guys, I also have a second podcast with just me for now. And if you guys are Hallmark fans, go listen to me. I host Hallmark Heartbeats podcast, and it's on all the platforms that Kayla listed. I pretty much watch all the Hallmark movies and review them weekly. Also, I get to interview several of the actors from Hallmark. So, like just last week, I got to interview the first Filipino lead actor for a Hallmark movie, Marco Grazzini, and stuff. And then so that's fun. Anyway, but yeah, we just go listen to us over there as well.
So, and this time I'm actually doing it. Until next week, my name is Kayla.
I'm Camille. Bye.
Bye.